don't know what this is, man. We're still in the beginnings, but this is where we talk about surfboards and surfing in the 70s, man, and single fins, and you know why the 80s was the worst decade in the history of the human race. And you know, I review surfboards for you. And listen, if you're a guy like me, you've got maybe some gray hairs on you, or you're not a 50-pound little kid, you still want to shred, I'm going to review surfboards that you can ride. I'm going to teach you how to tap into that 70s hardcore knowledge, man. I've been surfing for 40 years, and I've been through this whole shortboard revolution. And you know, listen, nothing's new under the sun. And I'm going to talk about that today, because today I'm going to review the Haydenshapes Hypto Krypto, man. And we've got on the Shredding Hippie Surf Show, we've got different grades of surfboards, and one starts at the bottom of totally lame, goes all the way up to totally bitchin', man. And I gotta tell you, man, this Hypto Krypto is totally bitchin'. What's cool about it is the epitome of the 70s surfboard, the ultimate late 70s surfboard. Now, I don't know if Hayden, is that a guy's name? Hayden Cox or whatever his name is? The Haydenshapes guy? I don't know if he knows that, but what he stumbled onto is what we shaped back in the 70s. That's how we shaped boards. We shaped them with just really clean lines. We shaped it with, you know, the foil would kind of come up in the middle, and you'd taper down at the end. And man, it was, and you had a thick board with lots of volume, but at the same time, man, it came down into these sharp pinch rails. And you would carve. You could carve if you wanted to carve, or if you wanted to go vertical, you could go vertical. At the bottom of it, it's got a little bit of rolled V in the nose, which is really cool, man, because that helps you, you know, get rid of chop, and just cuts right through the water. You got a nice big thick nose area, so that's good for paddling. It's good for getting in on the wave early. But then that pinched rail, that down rail, the performance rail, helps you stay connected to the wave. And what's cool about that board, man, is that, you know, man, that's got the ultimate 70s vibe, where it's like, if you know, the board's like, hey man, you want to cruise? Hey, I can cruise. And if you're like, no man, I'm feeling kind of aggro, man, my old lady's giving me a hard time, man, I need to get out some aggression. Or it says, hey man, just crank a little turn in there, and boom, you can nail one of those hardcore turns. You want to flip it on a dime and go vertical, you can go vertical. If you're one of these new kids that have the weight of a squirrel, you can do aerials. It'll pretty much do whatever you want, man. So I wouldn't say it's a total beginner board, although it would be good if somebody was towards the beginner range and wanted to kind of make their way towards the high performance. It'd be an excellent board, because it's very forgiving and at the same time really responsive. But I do recommend you get it in the right volume. And in case you haven't heard, if you want to figure out the right volume, go to firewiresurfboards.com and click on volume calculator. You've got to have your weight, your age, your ability level, your fitness level, all that stuff. You got to have all those things in there. You don't have all that, you're not going to be able to figure out your right. So mine is a 6'6", because I'm 45. That's about perfect, man. The only downside to that board, and I mean this in all seriousness, is that it's not a single fin, man. That board is a total 70s single fin board, and you should make them in single fins. Anyway, that's all for this. What was I saying? Anyway, that's all for this episode of the Shredding Hippie Surf Show, man. This is Thumper saying later on, man, shred till you're dead. You know why the 80s was the worst